Chapter 2, Referencing Files and Setting Option. In this chapter, we have viewing Sas libraries, specifying result format, setting system options, additional feature, and summary and quiz. So when you begin your Sas session, it's often convenient to set up your environment first. You want to define the libraries that you want to use. You may specify the procedure output, whether it is HTML or a listing output or any other type. Set feature of your listing output if you are creating any, such as whether, date, time would appear. Specify how 2-digit year would be interpreted. So this chapter is about how to define Sas libraries, referencing Sas files, and specify options for your Sas session. So you have Sas library options, Sas login procedure, date, time, line size. So the objective of this chapter is to define new libraries by programming statements, reference Sas files to be used during Sas session, set result output determining the type of output listing, set system options, and define libraries. Defining libraries. Often the first step is setting up a Sas session is to define libraries. You can use programming statements to do that. Remember that to reference a permanent Sas file, you need to assign a name libref to the Sas library in which the file is stored. Use the libref as the first part of the first two-level name, libref, the file name, to reference the file with the library. This example shows two-level name for Sas data set, admit, which is stored in a Sas library, and libref clinic, which has been assigned. Assigning libref. So to define libraries, you can use libname statement to store libname statement with any Sas program so that Sas data will be assigned each time the program is submitted. So libname, libref, and Sas data library. Libref is 1 to 8 character long, begin with a letter or a score and contains only letters or number. Sas data library is the name of the Sas data in which Sas is stored, the specification of physical name of the library differing by operating system. So in the window it would be something like this, D users, but if I were to remind you, in our framework the libref is /my folders my folder, because this is actually mounted on a virtual machine of Linux. So libname clinic, and this is the place where it is stored. Many examples in this book use libref Sas user. So libref Sas is a Sas user. The following libname statement assign the libref name to Sas user folder. Now I have intermixed them because in our case we did not had any of this, so it's kind of intermixed. So if I go there, so I am referring this as a Sas user because this Sas user does not have a lot of files, because in case of this university edition we don't have enough files here, we don't have enough input things. So just to make our life easy, I would use this. So we have physical names in Unix, it's a user April fitness data, so we are using Unix, so we have to use different slash. If you see this backslash and front slash are used. So verifying after says it's good to check whether it has been assigned. So sometimes it ignores a line and still moves ahead, so it's always important to verify the log because sometimes it won't assign it and it would still not throw an error. It would be like I found an error but I still kept on doing something. So you have this to name assumption. So proc to print anything from a file which is in Sas format, which is not a raw file, Sas format file, is to write proc print data is equal to clinic.admit and then run it. Referencing your file in some other format, you can use libname to reference not only Sas but also files were created with other software. Sas can read or write these files, so you did not need to tell which engine to use. So Sas automatically is the appropriate engine. So this is the libname, engine and Sas data, interface lib engine. Allows you to read a BMDP file, allows you to read OSI RIS, probably this is iris file. SPSS file, so maybe these are different. We know that SPSS is another mathematical package, so maybe it allows you to use that kind of a file. Then you have SAS or Access Engine. Access is Microsoft database that links up with Accent. If your site licenses has SAS access software, you can use libname to access data that is stored in a DBMS system. The type of data that you can access depends on your operating environment and on which SAS access product you have licensed. Then you have relational database, different one of them. Okay, viewing file content. To display file content in a window environment, you can double click. It's not available in the University Edition. Using proc content to view the content of the file. So to get the content, we would generally use procedure commands. If I go back here on the code, so whenever I need to print something, like I want to print what is in talent 1. Now this threw me an error because there is nothing called work, so I need to change it to SAS user and check if talent 1 exists. So let's quickly do that. Now talent 1 should be in the SAS format. So yes, talent exists. Talent 1 does not exist, but talent exists. So let's try to go into talent. So I'm going to remove this. Here I'm going to write SAS user and I'm going to run it. So this is what we have in the talent. I can also double check by opening here in the Windows framework. So I'm going down. I can double click and open that. Okay. Now this SAS 7 bdat is a SAS format and .dat is a raw data. So those are the two things that are more often used. Now when I keep moving, we have active libraries which are pointing to different users like clinic, maps, SAS user, work. In this example, since I was not able to import everything, I just imported a file that will help me to use and read the book. So all of these libraries in my case is all stored in just one library or one folder, which is sort prep, which I have referred to as SAS user. So that is a trouble when we are using the University Edition. That is a way around to use all the commands in the book. So this is the details about proc content and alphabetical order of what is inside. So proc dataset content data is equal to clinic.all nodes. Let's try to run this one. So this will give us what we have inside. I'm going to copy that. So to run this command, we have to do some changes. This 57 is the page number. I'm going to get rid of that. Proc datasets content is equal to data. There is no clinic, there is only SAS user, because that's how we are using it. I think that data set is kind of a keyword. Let's find that out. Yeah. So this is the libref directory. And this is the SAS user engine. This is the name, member type, view, and all the things that I created. And this is the folder that I just get, physical name, file name. If you see here, it's stored in my folders. And owner name is SAS demo. So all .notes is used to access that. I'm printing, saving a control as to save this. So with proc contents, you can use proc dataset, display description information about the SAS dataset. By default, proc and proc dataset list variable alphabetically to list names in order logical position. You can use that. that's not important. Okay, specifying result format, HTML and listing format. SAS 9.3 later version allows in Windows and Unix to use HTML format. When running a SAS in a batch mode, default format is listing. So let's look at the two results. So proc print output is a listing of SAS therapy, and then you have the HTML output. I don't know how HTML output would work in this, so I am skipping it because we don't have this kind of a stuff in the HTML. So I have skipped this section. Okay, but we can print proc command in the window, and we can create a frequency listing. So if you see here, the non-number and no date system options suppress the display of the page number and use proc page output. Page number not displayed in the proc frequency either, but the date does not appear on the top, and since the date option was specified, so you don't want no number and no date, then you have this big. It will give you a listing, a frequency table, and the frequency table, this is with the date and the time. Okay, so if you see here, this is the first one, first listing. This is the second listing, which is for frequency run, and this is the third. So let me try with the third one. Let me see if we already listed that. I don't know, but I'm going to put it. Okay, we already have SAS user, ODS listing close. Let's see if that makes a difference. So yes, this is how it lists. Okay, so we put this options down. This ODS listing close. Page number, no option. If you want to print page number, you can specify in the beginning. So then it would be listed. So SAS 9.3 does not create listing output by default. ODS listing statement was added to the general listing output. Then you have page size option, line size option, handling 2-digit years, year 2000 compliance. If you use 2-digit year values in your line data and external file programming, you should consider the important system. The year cutoff is equal to option. The option specifies whether 100 years is used to interpret 2-digit number. So all version of the SAS represents date correctly from 158280 to 20080 leap year century for the ultimately adjusted. However, you should be aware of year cutoff value to ensure that it's properly a 2-digit thing. So generally with other system you specify year cutoff as 1925. How year cutoff option work? When 2-digit year is read, SAS interpret as a base of 100 year span with year cutoff value is equal to value. The default year cutoff is 1920. So it would be 1920 to 2019. So 12/7/45 is interpreted as 12/7/1941. So this will take care of the end things. Okay. Using system option to specify observation, you have seen how SAS system option to change appearance of output and interpret 2-digit year values. You can also use first OBS and OBS system to specify observation processes from SAS dataset. You can specify either or both of these options as needed. This is used as first job, which is equal to start processing a specific observation. OBS is to stop processing after a specific observation. First job is together for a specific observation. General form, first job is equal to n is option statement. First job, first OBS is equal to n, and OBS, so this is observation where n is positive. So for example, data set clinic.heart contains 20 observation. You want to specify first observation 10 and read till 10th observation. for a total of 11. So let's try to run this and see if it works. I'm going to copy it. We had some line size, but we skipped it. Okay, first observation is equal to 10. Sas user is equal to heart. I'm going to run it with the first observation. So this is observation 10 to 20. If I don't use it, I run the other, then I would see everything. So I see all of the 20. So this is where we would control the first observation and the last observation. We already see the same as the output as in the book. Then you can stop it after some observation, and to reset the number you can specify the option statement. Okay, changing option, expand the group and subgroup of Sas optional environment until you find the option you want to change. Finding options quickly. From character. So selected system option to the description. From character, specified formatting character from your output device. Formatting character are used to construct the outlines of table as well as divisor for various procedures such as frequency and tabulate procedure. If you don't want to specify formatting as an option in the procedure, then the default specification given in the form change system are used. Form MD lem delimiter character. Specify the characters that is used to delimit in Sas system. Normally delimiter character is null. When the delimiter character is null, a new physical page starts whenever a page work. Okay. Label, no label. When Sas procedures to temporary variables possesses, the label option must be in effect before the label option of any procedure. No label if specified, then label option is ignored. Replacement or no replacement. Specifies whether permanently stored Sas data is replaced. If you want no replacement, it cannot be replaced. Source has no source control. Whether Sas source statement are written to the Sas log. No source control. Specifies not to write Sas source statement in the Sas log. The default is source. You can use programming statement to control the output of each item of the procedure output individually. For more information, we can check this at HTML output. So that was the. Let's look at the chapter summary. Referencing Sas file in Sas, viewing libraries, viewing content of a library, viewing content of a file, listing content of a file. Specifying result format, HTML we skip that. Setting system option like listing, options that exist, additional feature, lib name, proc dataset, content data. Point to remember, library option name remain in effect for current session only. When you work with date checks, check default value, year cutoff. And then you have a chapter quiz. Starts with a question and this has the proc main output print line of width. So he's starting some question on line size and page size, and then he is talking about how to get the output. So he says that which of the statement print summary of all file library name in area 51. So we need to take care of this all dots. So just remember that part and so on. So it's mostly based on syntax. Once you do it, you don't need to remember that. Then we have chapter 3.